What's up, world? Lee here with Stick, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week to chit-chat with you about all of the crafty things that I've been getting my hands onto. Today is the 26th of November, 2024. This is episode 98. 98! I'm almost getting to 100. That won't happen till next year. I'll explain why. But this is episode 98. I'm coming to you from a very gray and has been very rainy Pacific Northwest. It is November in the Pacific Northwest. I enjoy the rain. This is why I live here. We're not supposed to have as much rain over the next week, and it makes me sad. Yeah, I'm one of those strange ones. I like the gray and the rain. It's hermiting season. The sun goes down at 4:30. You go inside, away from all the people, and you hermit with your books and your tea and your crafts and your little fake fireplace. Or is that just me? Anyhow, today I have a couple of FFOs. I know, in the knitting world and the stitching world, they're the stitching FFO, and yes, fully finished, people, fully finished, is one you've never seen before, but I won't be showing that until I get into right at the beginning of life stuff, and I'll explain why when I get to that point. Anyhow, a few FFOs. Who am I? 2 FFOs. What? 1 whip that I can show. I do have a couple other things going, but they are gifts, and I'm not going to show them. I have 1 new start, and then I'll get into plans, stash, life, and all of that. Right. First thing that we usually do is talk about my tea. And I have one. It's living in this fun little cat mug. This is called Alishan Black. It's from Floating Leaves. And I purchased this when I went to the whatever annual 14th, I think. I don't remember what year. The something annual tea festival, Northwest Tea Festival, that I went to over the summer. And I purchased that here then because I got to taste it, and it's really good. It is a very tasty tea. It smells really nice. It's a black, obviously, Alishan Black. But it's just, I don't know how to explain how tasty it is. But it's just really nice. Sorry about the lighting. Who knows what's going to happen with it today. Anyway, I find the Alishan Black really interesting because it's like tiny little BBs. All the leaves are kind of rolled up individually, so you have all these little hard little pellets. So when you put it in the hot water, you have to wait for them to bloom open and release all of their deliciousness. It has kind of almost a sweet, but it's not. Anyway, if you like black teas, go to floatingleaves.com. Get yourself some Alishan Black. Yeah, I'm going to be enjoying that today. Let's get into the FFOs though, because that's why we're here. I have finished, now, of my knits, none of them are blocked. I have finished my fire pit mitts. They are really difficult to see because they are dark brown. This is from my Bare Wools box. I get it every other month, and it is just a breed specific bare wool. And this one is just a nice, very long fingerless mitt. There are a couple kind of fun bumpy bits, and that was just how the yarn was spun. So I liked this yarn because it's really soft. Like here, there's a bumpy bit right here that's right on my knuckle, but that was just because the yarn was kind of wound funny there. Spun. They're soft, they're warm, they feel really, really nice. The fire pit mitts are by Wool Needle Hands. I don't remember her actual name. I think that's the name of her. Wool for the People, I think, is her YouTube name. Anyhow, she made this, and if I'm wrong, I'll put the right name here. It's just a really comfortable fingerless mitts. I like the really long length. They're very comfy. I love this color. It's this dark, dark brown. Evidently, that is the color of, I forget which kind of monk's robes. I don't remember which ones. When you get the box, you can attend a class that tells you all about the yarn, and I did. But retaining the information, not so great. The Benedictines, maybe? Could have been the Benedictines. Anyhow, it's this lovely warm brown. And it's just so nice. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's blowing out, but for a second there, that was the color. Anyhow, these are really warm and really nice, and I like them. So, finished those. Yes, very low. We're going into the cold seasons, so we'll be needing more of those. I did get the new box, but I think I put it over there, and we'll get into that with stash anyway. So, there's one of my finished objects, and now I have another. Again, I didn't wash and block it yet, because I just recently finished it. Oh yeah. This is my hard cider by Taya Coleman. I used Les Garçons, their British DK, in the colorway Carmen's Story. And it's this lovely dark purpley. Hard cider has these lace panels in the front. You have a longer one on the side and then a shorter one, and then a shorter one, and then a longer one on the side, in the front only. This nice, huge, long, crunchy turtleneck. Just a 1x1 rib at the bottom, 1x1 rib at the sleeve. I did take the time to do an Italian sewn bind off, so I have this lovely, lovely edge on the sleeves where it just rolls over. I love doing that on the sleeve. I kind of wish I would have done this on the bottom, but it looks good enough and I'm fine with that. But on the sleeve where I'm going to see it all the time, I like it when I can do an Italian sewn bind off. And since this was a 2x2 rib at the top, I didn't try and do any sort of fancy cast on. It's just a German long tail, so it has plenty of stretch. Anyhow, I'm absolutely loving this. It's so good. The fit is perfect, and I know from doing my blocking and all of that from my gauge swatch that the fit will probably stay perfect. This was a non-superwash wool, so there's not going to be a lot of growth. And when I measured my gauge swatch, then washed and blocked it, and then measured my gauge swatch again, there was very, very, very little change between the two. So I feel comfortable in knowing that the fit of this garment is going to pretty much be exactly the same after I wash and block it. And I cannot wait to do that. I just haven't had time. So good. And that does mean my sweater quantity of yarn from Flock this year has been finished, which means Flock for 2025, I'm allowed to purchase another sweaters quantity. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely adored this sweater, and it feels so soft. I wish this was Touch-O-Vision, because this yarn, it is the British DK, it's at the Masham wool. So good. Feels so nice. Anyway, those are my two FFOs in the knitting world. Hold on just a moment. Anyhow, those are my knitting finishes. I do have a stitching finish as well. This is the other stitch along that I had been participating in. I finished the 31 Days of Poe last week, and one second, I'm going to sneeze again. Okay. Last time I filmed, I did show you that I had finished the 31 Days of Poe. Now I have finished Plants and Petrichor. So it is all completed. I have this lovely pothos in the planter right here, and it goes all over the place. I remember that last time I was talking about how I might be putting planters here and here, or another stack of books underneath the table. I didn't. I didn't. I don't know if I will later on. Probably not. I don't see going back and touching with it. I think it looks lovely as it is. I used just the called for DMC, and this is a 32 Count Be Stitch Me that I got from one of her Friday night fight nights, so it does not have a name, but it is a lovely color, and I have so much more of this fabric, so I will be using it again because it's gorgeous. So good. So good. I very much enjoyed this little piece. I love the stormy sky outside. I love the little teacup, the books everywhere. It's just, this is where I want to spend my life, basically. Inside watching the storm while I drink my tea. This was Fine Frog Stitching, in case I didn't mention who the designer was. There's the still life, some more plants, a little bit of incense, books, and a little succulent cactus kind of thing there. Bust of a lady, some pictures, a key, a picture of your kitty, some candles, and then this giant pothos. Ah, so good. I enjoyed it. So those were my, well, those are my finishes. That was an FF, so there were FFOs, and then I moved immediately into my finishes without saying anything. Obviously that's not an FFO. Distractions here. Distractions, people. I am confused. I have one other FO that is not fully finished, much like the plants in petrichor. Goodness. Don't mind me. Minor drinking problem. Hold on my lip. I'd been working on Home for Christmas by Plum Street Sampler. I don't remember the name. As my 100 stitches a day project. Now, I did stitch a couple over a couple days because I wanted to get this done, and I did. So there, there she is. Isn't that a sweet little thing? That's just a sweet little picture. I do have all of the finishing supplies here, so me with my great record of fully finishing things, maybe someday I will. But I did finish this one. And I love it. It's so good. I love the little pomegranates, the white pumpkins. You can see a little bit better in real life. They are a bit ghosty, but you can see them better in real life. I am glad that I chose to do the top and the bottom border. I know I was contemplating not doing either one of them or only doing one of them. In the end, I did both of them, and I am glad that I did, even if they are full coverage and a pain in the butt. That said, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with this finish. It is sweet. And I did put a lot of little snowflakes in. You can't really see them because they're white. You can see them better in person. But I just kind of put them in willy-nilly. When you're just doing little tiny one-stitch snowflakes all over the place, I just kind of place them in the vague general spot and the vague general number that the pattern suggests. I don't sit there and count over. I don't. I do approximately the same number, approximately in the same place. Shoot me. Anyhow, I did finish this one. I'm so happy. But now, since it is so close to the end of the year, technically I know we have an entire month called the month of December, but my December is very, very full of things. So I'm not going to start another 100 stitches a day project until after December is over. I will start another one in January. Now, I'm going to pause for half a second while I find my whip, and I will be right back. I'm back. It's a little bit later. It's a day. It's a day. It's a day ending in Y. All right. I was finding the main whip that I worked on. Now, I finished a lot of things, and so that is where a lot of my time went. But then I decided to pull out my village at Hawk Run Hollow. I had, I think, 2 squares done, something like that. And by squares, I mean just the outlines. I've done nothing else. So I pulled this one out. This project is cursed. Just gonna let you know now. It is completely and utterly cursed. And that's just how it is. I am doing this 1/2 on a 40 count sand dune by Lakeside Linen, and I am using a Vicki Clayton silk conversion. Now here I am. Yes, I have all 12 of my boxes stitched in. These boxes are 92 by 92. So after I finished all 12 of them, and I looked at it, and I went, oh, you might notice that this border is a little thinner than the upper border. That would be because my first box, and because of how I was doing it, therefore the following 3 underneath it, were all 82 by 92. Yes, 82 by 92. So they were 10 stitches too small. And I realized this after I'd finished outlining all of them, at which point several inappropriate words escaped my mouth. No, they were very appropriate words. They were extremely appropriate words, if not child-friendly. And I cursed a bunch. And then I ripped out the edge, extended it over 10 beeping stitches, and filled in the side again. So now I have my 12 boxes all outlined and ready to go for next year. For this will be in my plans, which I will get to later. Cursed, because this is not the first time I've made a mistake on this project. Oh no, oh no, no. When I first started this, before I stopped stitching and it sat in a box, I started one box and then evidently I thought it was orientated a different direction and did my next box with the stitches switched. So they were, half my stitches were going this and half my stitches were going. I thought I could handle it when I started stitching again and picked it back up. No, I couldn't. So I ripped it all out. This is take 3. Anyhow, it is appropriate and accurate and all counted correctly now. And if it isn't, well, if you hear giant rage screaming from the Pacific Northwest, just know it's me dealing with Village of Hawkran Hollow. I have finished houses. I finished houses years and years and years ago, and I have many other of the pieces to do, so I figured I should get one started and well on its way, and that one is Villages, the Cursed project. Oh, and cursed it is. So now I've shown you all my FFOs, except for one, which we will get to. I have finished my FOs, and I have shown you my whips. I have some new starts, most of which you cannot see, but one you can, and it is living in my lovely mushroom bag from Fat Squirrel Fiber. I love her bags. I know, I say it every time, but I really do love her bags. I have started another floof sweater. I said I was going to do it when I finished my hard cider, and I did. Am I going to get a lot of work done on it in the next month? No. Is it started? Yes. Does that make me happy? Very much so. This is the Broom by Andrea Mowry, and I am using Farmer's Daughters Fibers Oh Dang DK. This is a Surrey, and it is just floof. Don't mind my extra needle. It's fine. So just floof. It is 10% silk, 90% Surrey, and it is floof, floof, flooftastic. That is in the colorway Cross Current. I don't have much started. No! Stay on the needles. Stay on the needles. Stay on the needles. I only have... inappropriate. I only have one stitch stopper right now, so I will have to get another needle stopper and put 2 of them on. And I have started very little, but I have started the neck. I need to make... This is a paid pattern, so I do not want to give details away. I have to make it a certain length, then I fold it in half, and I start doing short rows for the epic. I am making this one rather oversized. I took the size that I probably should do, and I went up one, because I want my giant floof sweater to be giant and floofy, and I really, really, really wish that you could squish my floof. And there it is. Because of the way the yarn is, I don't know if you can see that, It is not a smooth yarn, therefore it will not have a smooth stockinette or ribbing. It is thick and thin, chunky, and crazy. So that is why it has that look, but I like that look, and I am happy. And I am very much enjoying this. I don't know how much more is going to get done on it in the next month, but it has started and it is floofy and I want it, so we will see. And my other new starts are, well, secret. Shh, secrets. Right, let's get to plans, and then stash, and then life, where I will show you one more finish. So, plans. I have decided that I am going to do a 12 in 12 this year. I've never done it before. It's where you do 12 projects in the 12 hours between noon and midnight on New Year's Eve. Now, I highly doubt I'm going to be that focused. However, my plan is that my 12 projects are going to be the squares, the 12 squares, in my village of Hakron Hollow. So, I will probably spread that 12 hours out a little bit. I'm not going to sit and stitch for 12 hours. It's just not healthy. And I'm not going to do that. So I'll probably spread it out over New Year's Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Maybe longer. I don't know. Life could be strange and I may not do this at all. But my plan right now stands that I'm going to use my 12 as the 12 blocks. So I'm going to do an hour in each block of village. That is the plan for my 12 and 12. Other than that, I will be doing a whip parade at the end of this year, at the end of December. I will be doing it after my birthday, which is on the 28th, because I want to get my 50th start into my whip parade. Makes sense, doesn't it? Why, yes. Yes, it does. And I'm not doing any new starts on New Year's Eve, so any other starts will be 2025 starts. Hence my 12 and 12 is a project that has already started. That means that I will do it likely on like the 29th or the 30th. Don't know when it'll go up. I have over 70 whips, and that's how that will be. I have 3 motor starts that I can do. 2 are called for, and 1 is an open unknown that I will choose sometime in December. Birthday start, Advent start, unknown start. It's very exciting, and I will have my 50 starts. Those are my plans there. Other than that, my next plan, and why I will not have 100 episodes before the end of this year, is that I, yet again, will be doing Flossy Vlogmas. I not very vloggy, but it might be this year. I don't know. But I will be doing that, and I will be doing a filming every day in the month of December. Come join me. It'll be exciting. And I have a handful of Advents that I will be opening. I have a tea Advent. I have a handful of yarny Advents. I have a Black Needle Society stitching Advent. I have the Modern Folk Embroidery Advent. Cannot wait. I will be opening that every day. I have a sock, 24-day sock Advent, so a stripe a day for my socks. And I also did get Teresa Wensler, not Teresa Wensler, Kitten Stitcher. What's her name? Vanette. Teresa Vanette. Kitten Stitcher's Shakespeare Peddler, whatever you want to call her. I did her Advent and it arrived the other day. So I have Advents galore that I will be opening, and it's going to be fun. I will be starting at least one Advent project with my stitching, with my knitting. I will be stitching the Modern Folk Embroidery project every day. Cannot wait. And yeah, drinking tea. What could be better? So those are plans. I also have some plans to finish some stuff that'll be going on in the background while I'm doing stuff. Those are my plans. It'll be great. Come join me for Flossy Vlogmas. Oh, also plan-wise, I will be attending hit and miss, very hit and miss, the Jingle Bell Ball. The Jingle Ball. The Jingle Bell Ball that Stephanie from Lindy Stitches puts on. I will be there. I do work, so retail worker, so there's only so much time you get off. I will be working Black Friday too. Anyway, it's what it is. I will be attending some portions of the Jingle Ball. I'm not sure how much I will be there, but I hope to be able to get in on at least a couple of the tables. We'll see. But I will be there a bit. And that kind of covers plans pretty solidly. Now, I have a couple stash things. I've gotten possibly my last Knit Spin Farm. I don't know. I might be canceling. This is Don't Eat Opossummatism. Probably stated that word wrong. That is when an animal has bright colors that tells you I'm poison. Look at that color. This is going to be a fun self-striper. This is insane. So, opossummatism is a signal from an animal that it tastes yucky and or is toxic to predators. It is Greek, segma, sign, and apo, away from. Most animals signal to stay away with bright colors which predators know are noxious. Some, like woolly bear caterpillars, have spiky hairs that are also irritating. Look at those colors. So we have thick, medium, and thin stripes of ladybug, red, blue-ringed octopus, I'm gonna guess that one's blue, flamboyant cuttlefish, which is pink, fire salamander, I'm gonna guess that's red, and woolly bear caterpillar, and a crown of thorns starfish, purple. So there is the picture that they gave. There is the socks. They're so bright and cherry, and I love it. I have been getting this in the Targhee fingering base, which is 90% Targhee, 10% nylon, and I really do love this base for socks. It is wonderfully squishy, and it holds up very nicely, and I love the stripes. But I haven't been stitching as many of them up, so I have a backlog, which is why I'm thinking of pausing or quitting for next year. We will see. I'm already only getting it every other month, so that's only 6 next year. We'll see. You know, I do want to start that one. I don't know if I will, but I do want to start that one. I also received my, I was wondering where I put that. My Yarnable of the month. This is Let's Get Basted. Haha, haha, basted instead of wasted. Basting a turkey. Aren't those colors lovely? I just love them. I love this purple right here. I think I'm going to turn this into a Musselburgh hat. At least that's my current plan. Because I think so. I think that's what I'm going to do. Though I need to find my 2.75 millimeter DPNs so that I can start the hat before I put it onto my 2.75 millimeter 16-inch circulars. So that I can go roundy a whole bunch. I can't find my 2.75 millimeter DPNs. Can't find them. I will look again. And if I can find them, I may have to start this, because I think that's going to be a really pretty Musselburgh. I also got the Log Cabin House for the Fabulous House series. It is technically the last house, but may not be. She did decide that she wanted to do a Tudor house. And as I was planning on doing these all on one piece of fabric, I'm really happy I haven't started because I didn't want to start with Santa. I want to end with Santa. That is the main reason I didn't start. It does mean that if I really like the Tudor house, which odds are I'm going to really like the Tudor house, I can take out one of the other houses and rearrange them so that it looks appealing to me when I start this. Anyhow, I'm kind of excited that I get that option. And there is the Log Cabin House. The Log Cabin House is actually what I'm going to do because I like it. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I like moose. They're scary, but I like them. And I do always get the called for fancy floss because it's usually only one skein. And I've been enjoying that. I do have a large piece, or an appropriately sized piece, of the 40 count prehistoric that I will be doing them all on. But like I said, I want to put it on one piece, and that's why I've been waiting. So there's that. I got November's Fabric of the Month for the Stitch Me. It is Sand Dollar. I love this color. I'm going to be getting December's, and then I am canceling this because I have plenty of fabric, and I am still getting the Fox and Rabbit because I am in their Patreon. So I don't need even more fabric coming in. And I have a nice supply of the neutrals because that is the fabric club that I was in for Bestitch Me, and she does some great neutrals, and I have lots. And I do like sand dollar. I also got the last of the scattered seed samplers. I don't remember if I talked about this one last episode, but I did. It's cute and it's lovely and it's got all the things. And it's the last one for the year. I don't know when I'm going to start it. And then the last thing, I already have it in a bag. Don't quite know what I'm going to do. This is the latest barn box from Bare Naked Wolves by Knit Spot. This is a New Zealand sport. And I have not, it's 100% New Zealand wool. And I have not yet watched the video on this yarn, but it is so pretty. These are all natural undyed wools, and I think they're really fun to play with. And this one feels nice and squishy. This is, like I said, a sport weight gauge, and it's 375 yards. So I don't know what I'm going to make this into yet. My cat's at the door, and I'm going to ignore it. Sorry, kitty, not today. Don't know what I'm going to turn this into, but I've been trying really hard to work them up, and so far I have. Ooh, that was what my fire pit mitts were made out of. It is the Black Welsh Mountain Worsted. That was what it was. I think I said it was a fingering weight. It was totally not a fingering weight. It was a worsted. I don't recall. Anyway, the fire pit mitts. That was the yarn. It was delightful. And I have some 100% New Zealand wool, and it is also delightful. Anyhow, those are the stash. That's it. Now we'll get on to life, and I will show my last FFO. Now, I got the pattern, I stitched the pattern, I finished the pattern, and I fully finished the pattern, all in the last 2 weeks. And this is the pattern. Chin up, tits out, you got this. There's the back. So I made myself a little tassel boob pillow. Because I've been diagnosed with breast cancer again. I was talking last time about how life was lifing. I wasn't really happy with things and I didn't want to talk about it. Well, my boobs are trying to kill me again. So I made this so that I can kind of look at it and laugh. Because I'm going to spend the next few months with my tits out a whole lot. It's just how it goes when you get diagnosed with breast cancer. Kitty, please stop. Please stop. If you've been here a while, the whole time, you will know that 3 years ago I was diagnosed with DCIS in the right breast. I had a lumpectomy and many weeks of radiation and went on my way. It's a triple negative cancer. It has a high likelihood of reoccurrence. It did not reoccur. Nope. Oh, no. Now I have invasive lobular in the left. Totally different cancer. Yay. It is invasive this time. Boo. It's stage 1. Yay. I've been going through a lot of tests and having a whole lot of biopsies. I've had like 4 MRIs in the past 3 weeks. It's been great. Lobular is hard to see in a mammogram. I think it was only spotted because I already had cancer and they were hyper aware. So I've had a couple biopsies and luckily there's only one spot of cancer. Lobular often has multiple. And I only have the one, as far as we know. Yay. That does mean I will be going through a lumpectomy again and radiation again. And since this one is hormone positive, I will be put on some type of drug for at least 5 years. I don't know what yet. I haven't talked to the medical oncologist. I won't know about chemo until after my surgery when after they do the sentinel node biopsy and see if there are any lymph nodes that have cancer. They will decide at that point if just radiation can be done on those lymph nodes and call it a day, or if I will need chemo. I have not yet been able to schedule my surgery. I am waiting for the call. So standing next to my phone. My phone is on me at all times at this point. I am waiting for a call from the scheduler to schedule it. I am crossing my fingers that I can actually have it scheduled this year. I don't know. I know there is a IV saline shortage right now due to the hurricanes. So I know that is pushing a lot of surgeries out. And that happens. So I don't know if this will affect mine. No clue. I did this all once before. I didn't want to do it again. I don't like the fact that I have a different kind of breast cancer. It sucks. Lobular cancer is the second most common cancer of breast cancer, but there's not that many places that you can get cancer in your boobs. There's really only 2. So it's the second most popular. About 15 to 10% of breast cancers are lobular. So it is not as studied. It is not as well known. It doesn't get the same amount of money for treatment. It is not the same as a ductal carcinoma. It reoccurs differently. It spreads differently in the body. It spreads to different areas of the body than ductal. It doesn't react as well to certain treatments. So, yay, I get to have yet another cancer that's weird. Because last time it was triple negative, which is not good. Now it's PR and ER positive, which is evidently good for lobular cancer. Anyhow, that's what I'm going through right now. If I am able to get my surgery during Vlogmas, I will talk about it. I'll probably miss a couple days. But I'm not going to let this derail my life. It is very treatable. It's as far as we know, it's stage 1. And that's not likely to change. It'll still be called stage 1, but if it's in other areas, it gets extra terms. I'm learning all sorts of stuff again. Yeah, so that sucks. And that is why I made a titty tassel pillow. Also, just saying, if you're doing support for breast cancer, don't call it Save the Tatas. As someone who's going through breast cancer for the second time in 3 years, fuck the Tatas. Fuck them. Screw them. Save women's goddamn lives. And if the Tatas have to go, kick them to the curb. That was the other reason I did this one. In case I had to have a mastectomy. Tits out would have a different meaning. Yep. I thought it was funny. And I've got to make my jokes when and where I can. So, tits out. Luckily, I can get by with just a lumpectomy again. Yeah. Little public service announcement. Get your mammograms. Get them. Get any of the follow-ups that are necessary. Get them. It can suck to have breast cancer, especially twice in 3 years. But if you catch it, and you catch it early, treatment's a lot easier. And the treatments all suck. They do. They really suck. Having done them. Haven't done chemo. Hoping I don't have to. Chemo is worse. This time I get to do drugs, too. And I know those are going to be awful. But it's better than keeping the cancer. Again, with the drinking problem. I'm going to pause for a sec. All right, I'm back. So that is why I have been a little... Life is lifing. And it sucks. I have lots of support. Yeah. Anyhow. That's what's going on. And during Vlogmas, you may see more of that, or you may not. If you don't watch Vlogmas, I'll be back in January. Again, I may be having surgery then. I don't know. I don't know what the timeline is. I just know that my next step is the surgery. unless it's to see one of the doctors. No, I don't remember. Anyhow, second bout of breast cancer in 3 years, and it's not even a recurrence. It sucks. I'm just gonna leave it there. So that's the life part, that's lifing. And other than that, I'm going to have Thanksgiving at my house in a couple days. I'm going to like that. I'm going to do Vlogmas. I am Flossie Vlogmas. I am going to open all my Advents. I am going to enjoy life. And I am sorry for ending this on a bad note. Titty tassels, people. Titty tassels. But that's where life is right now. And now I'm going to let you all go. And I will see you all again on the 1st if you decide to watch Vlogmas. If you don't, well, I will see you all in January or for my whip parade. I'll see you all again. Until later. Bye all.